whatever. Hey guys, Museal97. I'm back again for another video. And I have a pile of stuff. Probably wondering what all this stuff is. Well, it's... I have a mushroom in my teeth. It's my old writing projects. Ew. Okay. So these were like from, I'd say 2 years ago and partially last year in school. But I'd like to say that I improved from this. What is this drawing? I've definitely improved from that. Okay. So the first story in this pile, I feel like they'll get progressively better and better. Probably not. Amazing Ancient World. Is there a back to this? Men of the ancient world perform many astonishing feats. For example, think of the ancient Egyptians. This sounds like I copied it out of a textbook. They diligently fashioned towering pyramids. One of these pyramids would typically be composed of 1,000,000 bricks. This is boring. Let me find something that's more creative, because I know for that one I had to like summarize something that I read about. God's astonishing temples. No, more history. Nope. Ew, this paper looks gross. I'm pretty sure this one is a creative story called Unlikely Besties. That fell on the floor. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing all of these drawings and they're all horrible. Words from Greek myths, expressions from Greek myths. I'm pretty sure I had to write one, like, about fairy tales or something. Well, whatever. I chose 4. And a bunch of them are falling. These are the 4 that I chose. I feel like I got okay marks on these. A lot of the marks I got off were for me writing messily, but that's just because my brain works too fast. Alright. On a hot summer day along the glistening Nile River, waiting for helpless prey was a ferocious crocodile known as Croc. What a creative name. He was pacing back and forth, and of course all the animals feared him, so they didn't even tiptoe near him. Tiptoe near him. Croc came to a halt as he saw a slimy toad who was happily hopping along the shore. The toad pleaded in despair. These were all vocabulary words and like parts of speech that way to use, and they sound so forced. Like my alliteration was so forced there. It's horrible. Please don't eat me. If you spare me, I will help you one day. Croc, who turned down the offer, spotted a dead... Wait, if you turn down the offer, that means he would eat the toad. Spotted a dead antelope in the distance and devoured that instead. He bellowed, "Remember your promise." Croak, who had a huge weight on his mucus-covered shoulders, knew he owed Croc for not swallowing him whole. This is a riveting fairy tale. Luckily, the toad heard Croc moaning in the agony. In the agony, my grammar was amazing. All the animals were practically paralyzed just seeing the colossal crocodile, so they didn't help. Croak, who noticed Croc crying, saw the crack on his razor-sharp, I think that's supposed to say tooth, but I can't tell. Croak was petrified, but he remembered his promise. He happily hopped over to his friend. Croc, who was in agonizing pain, opened his mouth. Croak used his sticky tongue like a lasso to remove the tooth. As soon as the tooth was yanked, Croc yelped in pain. Though it seems fanciful, the pair became the most unlikely of friends. That was cute. The next story is Wild Ride in the Aqueduct. What did I call it? Oh, no. The Understanding Emperors. One day in ancient Rome, a young boy who was also very curious snuck into his father's workshop. The boy saw a cart and gasped as he saw papyrus marked for Augustus. His father had been making him his own cart. Augustus pondered to himself, "My father wouldn't mind if I rode it. It's for me after all." Wow, what a little smartass. He quickly crept into the rackety cart while his dad was building him a death trap by the sounds of it. The rickety rackety cart. He wanted to escape because he knew it was unstable. But then he realized it was too late to hop out. The unfinished cart was already plummeting to the bottom of the my writing was horrible. Vertiginous hill. He wished he had never snuck into the cart. His dad was preparing food. Wow, I was changing the gender roles of ancient times. Mother unknown, dad cooking up some food. When he heard his son's blood-curdling shriek. How did he know it was his son? Does his son shriek a lot? As he wordly darted to his workshop, he realized the cart was missing. Of course, you go to the workshop first because he knows his kid's up to something. And probably also tools there and stuff. He was shocked. He was worried. He ran down vertiginous hill, which led to the Serpentine Aqueducts. The Empire didn't notice the cart racing towards him. "What are you doing?" Augustus' father asked. Before he could help, his son collided with the Emperor. The Emperor hastily whipped around. So you want like this? Hastily whipped around only to see the stocky young boy who began to tear up. He calmly chided the boy as he knew he was petrified. He told him, "Boy, you will tend to my sheep." You will tend to my sheep. I remember what we had to do for this. We were given pictures and we had to write a story based on the pictures. This is what I came up with. "You will tend to my sheep for 3 weeks. Augustus immediately started to work. He knows where the sheep are already. He was happy the Emperor was so understanding. Yeah, in real life he probably would have got executed. Alright. Colosseum. Oh, I remember this one. I'm pretty sure this one's like cringe. Cringity cringe. Oh my gosh, my writing is so big. How many pages is this? Oh my goodness. We had to put them all in plastic sleeves. That's why everything's like in a plastic sleeve thing. Bang, bang, bang. That's the sound I heard the morning I was condemned to death. I was peacefully reading scriptures when I heard the thunders knock on my front door. And to my surprise, it was one of the ruthless Roman senators. "In the name of the Emperor Augustus, show yourself." I really like the name Augustus by the sounds of it. He bellowed. I calmly trudged out because resisting was useless. And then I realized someone had handed me in. "Do you know the penalty for practicing Christianity?" Oh, now I remember this one. So in the 3 pictures, the first one, the guy was praying and then he was getting arrested and then there's lions. I don't know. Do you know the pen? He cut me off and yelled, "You'll be fed to the lions. Now walk quickly." As he walked into the Colosseum, he realized that this may be his last. I realized this may be my last day on earth. The first things I saw were the lions. Their golden eyes pierced my heart. Ooh, I like that description. Their razor-sharp teeth gleamed in the balmy rays of the sun like the finest crystal. They licked their lips. That was an amazing description, but the rest of this is probably gonna ruin it. Because they were malnourished. We did need that. As the crowd roared and gaffled with glee, I plunged to my knees and prayed with my whole soul. I watched the lions prowl around me. If they were really that hungry, you would be dead already. Then I heard a growl, but it wasn't the growl of a lion. While he can distinct lion's growls, he's a zoologist. Just mushroom in my tooth. But it wasn't. It was a wolf. Oh my gosh, my wolf obsession. So as many of you people know, wolves are my favorite animals. I love wolves, and I tried to incorporate them into stories so much that it became very forceful. It was a wolf growling. I saw the wolf, a large gray blur, and killed one of the two lions. Just boom, kills it. Where did this wolf come from? Which were now surrendered. Carefully, the lion grumbled something. Then I saw the wolf turn into a breathtaking woman. So not only is it a wolf, it's a shape-shifting wolf. Okay. The crowd was irate and began to shout. The woman suddenly growled and howled as a wolf would. Then she instructed the lion who was under her control to let me ride him. Oh yeah, because the last picture was him riding on the lion. Then she informed me of her name. I am Venus, the saint of animals. I don't think there's a saint named Venus, and Venus is a goddess of love. So yeah, God sent me to help you. I was in awe as to something back to heaven. Oh, as she darted back to heaven. She couldn't stand it on earth anymore. For the rest of my life, the lion and I lived together in harmony. What? Yes, human-animal relationships work. That's how interpersonal connection skills work. There's more, but they're all probably way too boring. This one, I'm not sure what this is. It just fell. It's about gladiators. It's kind of boring. We had to do this for ancient history. So now I'm going to try to put these back in the neat pile. Bye, guys.